Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Leo July 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. And how are we going to be doing that today? We are actually going to be looking at, in this reading, a challenge that you're going to be asked to face and overcome this month that is going to help unlock some unique aspect of your own heroic capabilities. So, what does that look like? That means as you're facing this challenge and as we dive deeper into pulling cards around it, you're going to see how there's a part of yourself, part of your unique spirit that's going to kind of rise to the occasion. And in doing so, you're going to discover some unique aspect about yourself that you had either yet to discover or yet to understand how it can be used to help you better see your path and your purpose and get closer to those feelings of emotional fulfillment. So Leo, hi and welcome to all of you who have a birthday this month, Leo. Happy birthday. Next month as a happy birthday treat, you guys will get a free extended with your video. But for this month, it's just a happy birthday. And I love the Leo energy. My husband is a Leo. His birthday is actually on the 30th of the month. So I love the heart-centeredness that you all are working with. So hi and welcome to everyone who's both new and returning. And let's see what wants to come out here. All right. So we have the Hierophant for your internal energy, Leo, which is actually a pretty powerful energy. This is where when we work with this energy internally, this is where we're kind of revising the rules, the structures that we've created for ourselves on an internal level. Now, in your external environment, we have Strength, which is very interesting. That's one of your cards in the tarot. And it's a great one to have in your external environment to kind of bolster the Hierophant energy that I'll talk a little bit more about. And then we have Ace of Swords. So this month, you are unlocking clarity for yourself, a new truth. So let's go ahead and dive into this. All right. So like I was saying, you're entering the month with your own kind of internal self-evaluation of the rules and the structures you've set in place and you hold yourself accountable to. That's really what the Hierophant speaks to. Now, when this is internal versus external energy, this is when instead of looking at what society holds us accountable for, or what our family holds us accountable for, or our religious structures hold us accountable for, this is where we look at what do we hold ourselves accountable to? What are the hoops we ask ourselves to jump through? This is almost like that internal talk of how well do you bolster yourself? What kind of structures do you have in place that support who you are on an emotional and a spiritual level? Now, in your external environment, you have Strength, which is a beautiful reminder of an energy that you naturally work with, Leo, which is that kind of courageous, heart-centered strength that comes when you know your own abilities and your own power, but you use it in a way that is controlled and wielding and offers an element of grace. And that's really what, when you look at this, it's almost like an angelic being gently opening the mouth of the lion. And she understands the strength it takes, that you don't have to kind of meet violence with violence, or if you're thinking about kind of having to battle a lion, that you don't have to come at it aggressively. You can actually use the gentleness of yourself and the confidence in what you can do to help calm the lion and ease them. And that's a lesson just learned in general with this card. So for some of you, that is going to be featured this month, of bringing forward, of really reevaluating your own internal structures, what you hold yourself accountable to, almost that internal self-talk too, of how nice are you to yourself? Are you holding yourself to unobtainable levels of something? Or are you being gentle enough, and are you now courageous enough to bring that out and stand behind these principles, these structures, this kind of way of internally organizing yourself spiritually and emotionally? Because this month is going to be all about rediscovering your truth and gaining clarity in some aspect of your life. Now we have the Five of Cups and the King of Cups. This is a beautiful growth energy here of going from where you might have felt at one point disappointed. This is where we can kind of get stuck in that emotional place of where something didn't go our way. And, you see the individual looking at the Three Cups, ignoring the Two Cups that are actually standing behind him, which are the close interactions we have of support with other people. And sometimes we'll turn our back to that and focus so much on what we lost, and we are not focusing on what we actually have. Now, the King of Cups is someone who has gone through this and now understands the power of what's in his cup. He understands himself on such a deep, mature emotional level that he actually becomes more spiritually attuned because of that emotional control. He is no longer stuck being ruled by his emotions. Instead, you can see his head is up. He is standing upright and sitting upright with his cup held out instead of kind of, like this individual back turned to the world. Now, there is something here to be said that many of you have gone through this transformation, but this month, this actually might be the progression that you're moving away from getting to this place of kind of constantly being stuck in, but this didn't work out, or this friend group, because the Three of Cups can also denote a friend group. It can denote a work environment. It can denote a place where we tried to bring our cup to the party, so to speak, and it was rejected, or we didn't quite fit in. We didn't have that celebratory response. And for some of you, you're getting beyond that. You're getting beyond that kind of emotional instability, that emotional vulnerability around you maybe not feeling like you fit in someplace, and getting to this place of deep emotional control and wisdom and understanding the value of what you hold within yourself emotionally and what you do bring to the party. And that's where the clarity is going to come in. That's where this beautiful Ace of Swords of this new truth of who you are and how you can wield that truth with strength and courage in your external environment, but also with the internal structure in place to do so from that place of, instead of maybe emotional instability, it's emotional stability, so that you're not kind of going out there and beating yourself up when things don't go right. You're also not holding yourself to unobtainable goals, and you're also not maybe judging others so critically as well, that you're allowing you're having that beautiful realization that you have your own internal structures, your own internal hoops to jump through, but not to place those judgments on others. And that is really where the strength component comes in here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some cards here to actually take a look at your main challenge, to dive deeper into the block that you're facing this month. That's really allowing you to step up into this beautiful place of the spiritual advisor, that individual who understands what they bring, the importance of who they are, and the clarity and success that can come with that. Okay, so we have Ace of Pentacles, the Magician, the High Priestess, Three of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. And there you are, Leo. The King of Wands is also your card in the tarot. So you are working a lot with your own energy this month, which is beautiful. This is showing you kind of coming back into your power, but the journey, and I think a little bit of the restructuring that's going to get you there. So with the Ace of Pentacles, this is your main challenge position. This is a new opportunity. This is the seed for something new to grow. Now, it is just that, though. It is an opportunity, and we can choose not to take opportunities. This is where we have that choice of free will versus destiny. And destiny only becomes our destiny when we use our free will to take advantage of that opportunity, to nurture and grow that seed into something more. Now, where this can become a block is when we are sitting with the opportunity and we are one of two things. We are either too afraid to take the opportunity, or we miss it because of maybe not even miss it. It's where maybe we don't want to take the opportunity because of what we feel inside is something we hold ourselves accountable to, or is a rule that we tell ourselves we have to follow. So this would be like being granted an opportunity maybe to work in a work environment that's a little outside the box, maybe breaks a few rules, or comes across as it could be something where the opportunity, if those around you, maybe friends or family, knew that you were doing this type of work, that it might, you might be afraid that it will look silly to them, or that you always, this would be like telling everybody, I don't believe in astrology, I don't believe in tarot, I think that's ridiculous. People should hold themselves accountable to looking at things in a more scientific or more exacting way. And I think all that's ridiculous. And suddenly you have an opportunity to maybe go into a more esoteric field where you're working with that medium, or you're working with other people who maybe believe in these things, but you have told yourself up to this point, well, I don't believe in that. That's ridiculous. And suddenly now you might be seeing something in a new light. Now, this is where, again, an opportunity can become destiny, or an opportunity can just become another opportunity that kind of goes by. Now, the magician coming in on the other side of this is a really awesome energy to have. It's the energy of understanding that you have the ability to work with all aspects of your life. The magician actually has the Ace of Coins. He has the Ace of Swords. He has the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups all on his table in front of him. And he is the magician who can figure out how to work with all of these things. And this is very potent when it comes up with the Ace of Pentacles, in that the Ace of Pentacles is something that is tangible. This could be a job offer. This could be a gift of a little bit of money. This could be even a piece of advice that leads you to apply someplace new for a new job. Or this could be something where somebody says, hey, I'm going to give you the gift of introducing you to a friend of mine who's also single, and I'm going to set you up on a blind date. But it's something that you can interact with in the physical and grow in the physical as well. But I think what you're seeing too is that if you can choose to take this opportunity and do so, even if it's kind of breaks your own internal rules, breaks your own internal beliefs that you've held up to this point, what it's going to help unlock for you is your ability to actually work with other aspects of your experience. It's going to help reignite the Ace of Wands, which is your passion. It's going to help reignite your connection to your own internal cup, your emotions, what you hold dear, the needs that you need to have fulfilled, the dreams you want to create for yourself. And then the Ace of Swords, and this is where I think the tie-in with the Ace of Swords is coming in here, that then there's also the element of unlocking a truth about yourself, a clarity about who you are and where you as an individual fit. And that's all going to come about from choosing to engage with this opportunity in the tangible. Now, Spirit's asking you to embrace the energy of the High Priestess this month. This is at the heart of your reading, and this is what's really going to help you move through this challenge of possibly taking or not taking this new opportunity and really gaining this clarity on who you are. And I think also there's a big growth opportunity here, and I'll go into that a little bit more. But the High Priestess is one where when we know, we know. This is where we have the ability in an internal level to really trust our intuition, actually tap into universal knowledge, and make that decision for ourselves. The twos in the tarot generally reflect having to make a decision. And this also harnesses the energy of Pisces. It harnesses the energy of balance, as you can see. And it really speaks to, again, going deep within and trusting that gut feeling. The High Priestess and the King of Cups work well together because both are highly intuitive beings. Now, the issue that can happen here, and hold on just a moment, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't know if it looked like my video wasn't recording. But anyways, what I was getting into here with the High Priestess is that it's a deep inner knowing. It's that decision that when we sit there and we are like, oh, I'm going to go back and forth in my mind and I'm going to wonder, it's like, no, you just stop, you give yourself that momentary pause and you realize, wow, no, this really is as easy as me stopping and feeling into it. Because directly on the other side of this, we have the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is knowing what you want to build. It's actually having the vision of what you want to take this pentacle and include it in. Now, this is a long-term vision for the future that you end up actually being able to work with others to build. And that's the really neat thing with the Three of Pentacles is it's a realization of I don't have to do this alone. And to understand too that our opportunities are part often of a larger opportunity for ourselves and for others. This is when we get to really bring our piece of the puzzle to the board. Now, directly on the other side of this, we have the King of Wands, which is your energy, Leo. This is the energy of someone who knows how to work from a place of passion, someone who understands the value of the unique internal flame that burns within themselves, and they have an almost uncompromising way of working with it, meaning that when we think of people who are very much in touch with the passion that I would say separates them, or there's an actual word I'm trying to grasp and I just can't get to it, but let's just use that. There's a part of themselves that they tap on that literally sets them apart from others. It can be that vision for the future that no one else sees. It can be an ability to do something more proficiently than someone else. It can just be a simple love of life and a viewpoint that they bring to everything they touch. But it's that understanding of, kind of very similarly to the Ace or to the King of Cups over here, what you bring uniquely as yourself, and to continue to bring it openly, fearlessly, and courageously. But this is also your final point of challenge, where it can be scary to step up into that, because sometimes when we think about working with the wand, and the wand is our eternal flame. This is the wand that the magician picks up off of his table of elements and gets to utilize and work with. But it's a wand that he's become very proficient at working with. There's also the element of fire that comes with this. Now, Leo, you are a fire sign, but there can be that point of almost being consumed by the fire, of being consumed with that feeling of passion, of always wanting to act only from that place, and understanding that when you get to a king status, it's wielding it with responsibility. You're not the Knight of Wands, who is someone who's going to kind of just go off and do what feels good and isn't going to stay for the long haul. This is backing up a long-term vision with the long-term staying power of consistently coming every day with your fire and saying, this is going to make it happen. And that can be a little scary because you're committing to something. You're committing to yourself long term. You're committing to working with that fire. And sometimes it can feel like, well, what if this gets a little out of control? What if all of a sudden I am consumed by this and this is all I can see and I'm selfish for doing that? And Leo, I think you're being asked to be a little selfish, because the opportunity you're being given is asking you to break internal boundaries and rules, things that you've set up in place for yourself. But to do so is to unlock the magical potential within you in a way that is going to directly tie into a deep knowing that's yours for something that you long to build for yourself, something that you know this opportunity can be a part of and help create, and in turn is going to light that fire within, is going to allow you to step up actually into the highest potential of who you are, this beautiful, courageous king energy. And then you get to bring that out into an environment that is, going to be a little challenging. When we have strength there, it means that in order for you to show yourself as this, you are going to be challenged. That's how a king gets into that kingly position, is that others are going to come in, see you as the king, and possibly either A, try to dethrone you, or just challenge you to say, well, who are you to tell us the vision for the future? Or who are you to tell us that this is how you're going to manage this project from this point forward? Or who are you to tell us that this is what you really want to apply yourself towards, and we're all going to have to get on board with it? And so that's where we get to learn how to lead with grace out here. This isn't coming in and trying to bowl people over with your ideas. It's about selling people on the vision. And I really want you guys to think about that, because there's a power that when we see the vision and we see the opportunity and we understand what we have to work with, and we know that this is for us, that when we get to the King of Wands status, it's the selling of others on this magical opportunity to buy in and be a part of something with you. And that's how you get people on board. That's the actual strength. It's not coming in and forcing people through will to see what you want them to see, or to see the opportunity. Because for some people, this opportunity might not be an opportunity. They're going to see that and say, why would you go after that? That's silly. That's ridiculous. In fact, I don't want to be a part of that. That sounds terrible. And that's on them to feel that way. That's on them. If when you're thinking about the Five of Cups here, for people who might have not seen your vision previously, or you might have shared some part of yourself, and that's why you have a system in place internally to not bring out this part of yourself, to not share this part of yourself, to not want to work with it in the physical because of something that happened in the past. This is saying you're strong enough now, Leo. And in order to get people, the right people, to buy in and create the opportunity out of this potential, the right outcome for this opportunity, the right system and structure for it externally, you're going to have to step up into almost the salesmanship position. And, when we think about the most dynamic people in our experience, the people like the Steve Jobs, or even in this country. So I'm in the United States. We just had our 4th of July here. And I think about our founding fathers. They were all very dynamic individuals. We had George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin and Patrick Henry. And you just, kind of name them out there. But they were all very unique individuals. And they had a way of almost selling to each other the communal vision they had for the future of this country. And that was what was powerful and bound them together, was that unified vision. So that's really kind of where you want to be placing yourself, Leo, is in that place to sell your vision to others who are looking to join and hear, and perhaps even heighten and sell your vision back to yourself. So keep that in mind as you move through this month and are keeping your eyes out for the opportunities. Now, for those of you who are interested in learning more about the opportunity, which we're going to dive a lot into this and this and this. There is the extended, and you can click on that link in the description box below after I am done with the video here. And we go into quite a few, we pull lots of cards. That's about another 30-minute video in addition to this one. But now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull here 3 additional cards as pieces of advice from Spirit. We're going to see where Spirit would like you to stay open and curious to, what Spirit would like you to keep in mind as far as where to be courageous in taking action, and then a point of reflection and contemplation for you to keep as you move through this month to really help you overcome this challenge and really take this opportunity to heart. I'm going to say that, Leo, because you are a sign that works with the energy of the heart. And when you get into that place of, I think, also acting from the heart, acting from what you know, acting from this strong emotional place, that's what really pricks people's ears up. makes people pull their head up and say, who is that? What are they talking about? So let's see here. What does Leo need to be curious about this month to really help them open up to something that they might not have otherwise been aware of? And curiosity, as I like to say, helps open us up to the miracle that's waiting to come in for us, because it keeps us in that place of kind of extended excitement, waiting, that curiosity that takes us a little further down our path to see what's up ahead, to see what's around that bend in the road. Okay, let's see. What does Leo need to know? Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we have the happy family card number 4. So Leo, there is something here around obviously family that's coming in. I love the rainbow, the number 4. The number 4 is a building of a strong foundation. This number really resonates with going from the 3 to the 4. Beautiful, beautiful energy. So the happy family card is one of my favorite cards in this deck. But when we're thinking about being curious, now for some of you, you may have a family situation. You may have children, you may have a spouse, but there's also the element coming through of being curious as to, when we're thinking about the progression, going from the 3 of Pentacles to a number 4, there's the planning, the seeing the vision, and then there's building the solid foundation. So for some of you, there's something here around being curious about what is that foundation you'd like to build for a happy family. And the happy family doesn't mean that you have to want children or that you have to have this kind of idyllic experience for yourself or want that for yourself. It could be more about what would make you feel like you were part of a happy family, because there is that feeling that's been kind of coming through intuitively this entire reading of almost being kind of left out of a friend group or left out of, there was a disappointment around trying to join something, being a part of something here emotionally, and it not happening or allowing you to express who you are, or again, bring your cup in the strongest way possible to the party. So for some of you, there's this element of being curious as to where I think you can start to build the foundation for and I'm trying to see how I can word this for you guys, where you can build a foundation for what you want to bring in. You know, when we're thinking about a vision for yourself and we're thinking about really stepping up into that place of kind of, this is me, this is my passion, this is what I want. Do you want to join in? There's almost that feeling coming through here of, but first you have to have the foundation. First you have to have a foundation for what you want emotionally, because this card also does always remind me of the 10 of Cups in the tarot. And the 10 of Cups speaks to that achievement of your heart's fullest emotional fulfillment. And there is that kind of coming through of being able to visualize that for yourself. What would make you feel very fulfilled on an emotional level in your current environment, where you feel like you would be part of a happy family? Whether this is becoming more community minded and really digging deep to build the foundation to become a part of your community, whether this is you do want a family and you want this kind of scenario. Well, what do you personally need to do to be able to be curious about, well, what do I need to start to build here with this Ace of Pentacles, this opportunity? How can I turn that into the foundation for attracting this into my life? Is this the opportunity of going out on that blind date with a friend? And then that's possibly the starting foundation point for that. Or maybe you can go back to, sometimes this is actually creating the opportunity for ourselves. Maybe it's starting to speak to friends and family to let them know you're ready to start dating again. Maybe this is something where you're like ready to put money down on buying a house, and that even though you don't have the significant other or the children, you're preparing yourself for that to come in for you. So there's something here about really kind of stepping up into your personal power, understanding what you want for yourself, the vision that you know you want, and taking the lead in making it happen. But there is going to be the start, something this month that's going to come through that is going to challenge you a little bit internally. And where the miracle can come in is where you start to focus your energy here. The more you're curious about what this would feel like for you, the happy family, where you'd like to belong, what you'd like to be a part of, the more you're going to be able to see the miracle of the opportunity coming through here. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull a card for where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action. And this is a really powerful piece of advice from Spirit, because this is really where, when we can take this message forward, is what helps to keep us focused on taking action in the present moment. So it says, surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. You know, this is a beautiful reminder that we don't have to do it all alone. Even though you're being asked to step up into this, very driving and dynamic and leadership-minded energy here. There's also the energy of the supportive quality that I think you're looking for here, and allowing yourself to receive that love, that support. It could even be the support of just others in your life. It doesn't have to be the support, again, of a significant other or the support of your family. This can be literally expressing to your work environment a vision that you see for the building of your career path, and allowing that to be expressed as throughout the month so that you can ask for that support. Maybe there's a course you would like to take that can help you level up and be able to be eligible for this long-term goal of yours, this vision for where you see yourself growing with your company. And being able to be courageous enough to explain this to a superior within your company and allow them to come back and offer that support. And they can come back and say, we'd love to be able to compensate you for going ahead and doing that. And we do love your vision for your position or for this role that you have in the company or this sector. If this is something around actually building a family, this can be reaching out to friends and family to say, I'm ready to start dating again. I'm ready to start going out there and sharing my cup with others. Or I'm ready to go out and start sharing my business idea with others. And to not be afraid that this is what's going to happen again. That instead it's the reminder that there's the two cups that were always standing behind you, and that what allowed you to get through this initial disappointment, or maybe multiple disappointments, was the people who were there with you, who were there to support you, whether it was just offering a listening ear, whether it was offering you a place to stay when you needed it because you maybe had to leave a situation. Whatever it is, there has always been somebody around you who has been able to share your cup and theirs with you. And it's time to really, I think, acknowledge that and remember that. And the best leaders are the ones that understand that they have to work with others. That's the biggest thing with the Three of Pentacles. It's a reminder that everything, all the visions we have for what we would like, whether it's in work, home, or just in our life in general, can happen a lot faster when we share the responsibility with others. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and for your final card here, before we get into the extended, we are going to take a look at what a point of contemplation or reflection that Spirit would like you to keep in mind throughout the month to really underscore this reading. And this is something, that should really be kind of kept in the back of your mind, that as you're ending your day, you can just contemplate on this point and kind of hold the rest of your actions and what happened in the day accountable to this message, to say, am I really keeping this in mind? Am I acting in accordance with the message that's coming from this card here through Spirit? So what does Leo need to know about a point of reflection and contemplation? And contemplation is really important in our lives in general. The reason why it's one of my main 3 core principles for my business is because it allows us to take everything that happens in the moment and throughout our day as well. We are able to reflect and we can see the consequences of our actions, and we have the ability then to take responsibility for, in the moment, either continuing to do the same actions because we had a wonderful result, or realizing, wow, I didn't quite do something the way that I wanted, or it didn't end up happening with the result that I wanted. And we can then, in real time, from a place of personal empowerment, change how we acted. We can the next day try again in a slightly different way, and it allows us to really grow and expand. It's an expansive energy reflection. So we have, it says no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Now this is an interesting energy to get as the final point of reflection. And I'm going to say this, we're definitely going to dive into this in the extended. So for anyone who wants to join me over there, again, the link is in the description box below. But the one thing that I keep in mind actually quite often for myself, because I am somebody who has to work with really maintaining boundaries in the work that I do and just in other aspects of my life, I had to learn over the years that a really specific no, it always means a yes to something else. So this is really keeping that in mind for yourself for this month, Leo, is that you may have a lot of options come in. This might just be one of many opportunities, but you're being asked to have a vision for yourself. Go into that place of intuition and understand what you want to build. What lights your fire? What would make you feel like the King of Wands? What would make you feel like you're the CEO of your own life? and really put you in this place of personal empowerment around your emotions and the clarity that comes with understanding what you want for yourself, that truth, that driving truth that's within you, what you want to take out and share and actually sell to others to a certain extent. And that as you're moving through this month, start to take a look at possibly where you are maybe saying yes to too many things and need to actually be more focused on what is that vision. And when you can start to say a pointed, directed no, I can't actually take on that extra project because I'm actually focusing on growing into this role. So this part, I really need to make sure that I'm delegating this to the correct person instead of me just kind of taking it on because this is what I've always done. It's time for me to realize that my plan is to level up and get to this position. And so I need to start utilizing the tools that are around me. And this could be people. So this could be that you're working in a team environment. And maybe you are one who is kind of afraid to delegate. And so you kind of just say yes when somebody throws something on your plate. And this might be that reminder of, if this is your goal, it's time to say no to those kinds of things that might get you off your track or postpone you a little bit from moving forward. This can also be maybe where it's something, maybe you have people in your social circle who want to take up some of your time, energy, or resources, and maybe you're the one who always says yes. Or maybe you're the one that always says yes in your family. Yes, I'll give you that extra time. Yes, I'll do X, Y, and Z, and it's time to now say no. No, actually this weekend I'm going to stay in and I'm going to work on the course that I've, signed up for, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to that. Or no, mommy or daddy needs their alone time. Whatever it is, there's something around understanding that when we say no, we're saying yes to keeping yourself on track. You're saying yes to holding yourself accountable, to helping start to make this vision happen, to really start to grow this seed. This would be like being gifted a seed of something that you really want to grow. Let's just say it's an apple seed and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to grow an apple orchard. I've always wanted to have a cider mill. This is fantastic. And here I go. But yet every time you tried to go out and water the seed and tend to it, somebody came in and was like, hey, actually, can you help take a look at my tree over here? I was wondering if it's actually growing enough. And every time you're like, oh, okay, sure. It's just a little seed anyways. Like, I'll just let it go. And what can happen is when we do that, we end up, the opportunity shrivels up. That seed might actually die through a lack of care. And that's where the importance of saying, no, unfortunately, I dedicated time today to go over and make sure that my seed was okay, to make sure that the soil is good, to make sure that I have all the other things in place. Maybe I was going to take a trip to the hardware store to pick up more nutrients for it, whatever it is. It's to say, no, I set aside time for that. So I'm saying yes to my opportunity. It's not that you're being mean and unsupportive of other people. It's that you're building the vision for yourself. And this is where we, like when I was saying, it's okay to be a little selfish. It is okay to be a little selfish. This is your life that you're living. And it's okay if you want to create something for yourself that's going to allow for you to feel this happy family feeling. It's okay to actually lean on others. If you need to have time to go out and nurture this, maybe it's actually asking somebody, I'm having a difficult time finding the time, or I want the seed, but I don't know how to nurture it. Can you please help me? And realizing that people love to help others. I was actually saying this, I think in, I can't remember now which, I might have been the Pisces sign, but in the Pisces reading, I was saying, sometimes we don't realize that other people actually are looking to be of service directly to the people that are closest to them, meaning that some people are looking for others in their life to actually help. And that by just simply saying, I need help with this, it actually allows them to fulfill that call to being of service. And it can really help them actually feel on a spiritual level fulfilled. And we sometimes forget that we get into this place of like, we don't want to be a burden. And in reality, actually asking for help at times can not be a burden. It can actually be something that can be incredibly liberating and fulfilling to the other party involved. So I'd love for you to keep that in mind. But this month, Leo, is going to be, I think, a really interesting month if you can have that eye to the vision and keep an ear within. Really dive into your intuition and get into that sales kind of minded element of when you're really fired up, what can't you sell to someone when you get into this place of fiery action? And don't be afraid that if this thing seems to kind of press a little bit on, I think, your beliefs up to this point, this is that kind of growth period for you to realize that sometimes, we put things in place, we put systems in place, we put internal belief systems in place to protect us at certain points. But this is going to be a challenge that's going to allow you to have that aha moment, this element of clarity and a new truth. All right, Leo, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you'd like to join me in the extended, the link again is in the description box below. If you'd like to book a personal reading or just learn more about me and what I offer, the link to my website is also in the description box below. But if I don't see you at either of those two places, I look forward to reading for you again in August, Leo. Have a wonderful month of July. Bye.